Tonight on Best Bits, Ismail Nerdiev bopped Ryan Loader. Luke Riley obliterated Bogdan Grad. Waldo Cortes-Acosta slayed the king, Shamil Gassiev. Maitabek Orabai flattened Jack Hermansson. And Volkan Oezdemir finished Alonso Menefield with punches in bunches. Welcome back to Best Bits. Pretty decent night of fights, eh? UFC Qatar, a banger. I mean, let's be honest, the Middle East cards are usually pretty good. They've got the money to pay for them. Anyway, first fight of the night, Denzel Freeman versus Merab Buzlov. I went with Buzlov. I thought he'd get a TKO. How wrong I was. I did also say that I think Denzel Freeman's in better shape. I should have considered that when doing a matchup between two fat guys. I should have considered who is less fat and who's going to be able to go the distance is what I should have taken into consideration. But oh well, you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Denzel Freeman, unanimous decision victory over Merab Buzlov. You can't win them all. On to the next one. Nuriel Aliev versus Shamrock. We had Shamrock for this one, of course we did, because we're biased on this channel. And you know what? It was a decent fight. It was a decent fight. You know what? It was a robbery. It was a robbery. Shamrock won every single round, unanimously. There was 10-8s in there as well. No, I'm joking. It was a decent back and forth. Shamrock kept trying to stay in the fight, but he just kept getting countered with everything he tried to do. He was countered. He tried to grapple. He ate a counter. He'd get stuffed and then he'd eat a shot for it. He'd try and throw some sort of combination. He'd get countered coming in. It was a bit of a shame. Nuriel Aliev definitely had his number. But I said this going into the fight. I said this is a pretty difficult fight for Shamrock's debut. Kind of feeding him to the walls with Aliev, but it was to be expected. I think the most success we had from Shem was the head kick. He threw a decent head kick in round one. Then I feel like he rocked Aliev in the second round with a head kick, because it instantly had Aliev backing up and he'd been pressuring the whole time. Maybe Shem didn't notice, maybe Aliev's got the poker face, but I felt like he was hurt. He started backing up a little bit, and Shem just kind of followed and didn't really throw to capitalise, and he was probably worried about being countered again. But yeah, I think that was the only moment of success. But then I feel like maybe after it he realised that head kick was money, because he threw it like so much. After that moment he threw it a lot. He kept throwing that head kick up, and it was just slappy and being countered and being dodged and ducked. It became too obvious. But yeah, I think the head kick was probably his key to victory there in this fight, but it just wasn't presenting itself for him, unfortunately. And Nuriel Aliev kind of wised up to that being the one shot, and he started kind of playing around that and continued to just counter Shem, winning a unanimous decision. You can't win them all, as I just said. You know, things start to look up now for my predictions. Don't worry, guys. Things start to look up. Okay, we dropped 2 to start with, and then we're gonna bring it back. Ismail Nerdiev versus Ryan Loader. We had Nerdiev, we had a KO, so you know, spot on with that one. Ryan Loader, man, probably time to cut him from the UFC, right? Just saying. I mean, I know he's not on like a dramatic loss streak, but you know, he's not really anything to write home about, is he? You know, he won the Ultimate Fighter, and that's like, did he win the Ultimate Fighter, or was he second on Ultimate Fighter? I don't even know. I actually don't know. That's like how little we care, you know. But yeah, probably paying him a fair bit of money because he won the Ultimate Fighter, or because he was on Ultimate Fighter. He's probably got a decent contract compared to everybody else. And I could see them not wanting to pay that money anymore. So yeah, maybe they'll alter his contract. Maybe they'll cut him from the UFC. That remains to be seen. All that being said, excellent work from Ismail Nerdiev. Absolutely destroyed Ryan Loader. Just bonked him. Night. Pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn entertaining as well. Lots of fast first round finishes on this card, actually. That's worth mentioning. Next up, Alexandre Topuria versus Baksat Almakhan. We had Alexandre Topuria. We said we're on the hype train. We were thinking a possible TKO. I think we went with TKO, but it was a decision, a unanimous decision for Alexandre Topuria. There was moments where he had Almakhan hurt, but damn, Almakhan's tough. Plus, you know, lighter divisions, there's not a lot of power carrying down there. But damn, I say that, but Topuria was huge, like just massive. Looked like a wall in there compared to Almakhan. So decent back and forth. Topuria, just like his brother, for the namesake, you know, just like his brother. Excellent grappling, excellent stand up, smart stand up as well. Smart stand up. I think he got caught by like one flush shot the whole fight, like one actually. No, you know what? It was one combination. He got binked by a combination because he was trying to aura farm. And I said that would happen as well. He was trying to be all flashy with it, and he got caught once and then twice. And then I think once it was over, he was like, "I only got me once," but I'm fairly sure it was like 2 or 3. Yeah. But yeah, good showing from Bekzat Almakhan as well. Like, never gave up, never counted himself out. Kept coming forwards as well and meeting Topuria in the middle. Didn't allow himself to be easily bullied. He did get bullied around a little bit. That's just the ebb and flow of a fight, though. I mean, he didn't accept those positions and just allow himself to be bullied the entire time. He kept trying to find his way back into the fight. And at times, you know, it looked like he was getting closer than others. Like I say, he landed a decent combination, like one decent combination on Topuria. And he was outmatched in the grappling, outmatched in the stand-up. And it was a decent fight. It was a decent back-and-forth fight between the two. But Alexander Topuria walks away with a unanimous decision. On to the next one. Abdul Rahman Yakhiev. I can't say his name. We'll just call him Abdul Rahman. Yeah. What can I say? So I said, this one annoyed me. Okay. So I had Rahman. I had Abdul Rahman winning this fight by a TKO. And as soon as the fight starts, Rafael Cachoeira has Cachoeira. I don't know how to say his name. He doesn't have a fucking chin. He has absolutely zero chin. Zero chin, cut him from the UFC. I said this in the prediction video. Zero chin. The fight starts. He gets bonked immediately, falls over, proceeds to eat a few more ground and pound shots, turns over and gives up his neck. Man, that should have been my TKO. We should have had a TKO out of that one, but no. Devastated. I was right though, right? He has no fucking chin. Zero chin from Rafael Cachoeira. Zero chin. But yeah, emphatic victory for Abdul Rahman Yakhiev. I can't even say his name. Yakhiev? I don't know. Yakhiev? Who could say? But yeah, Abdul Rahman, absolutely emphatic finish. Not surprising though. Not, you know what? And I'm not even going to be like, oh, it was amazing. You know, it's not on to write home about because it was over fucking Cachoeira, and he's shite. On to the next one. Asu Almabayev versus Alex Perez. I went with Asu Almabayev, thank goodness. But damn, at the start of the fight, I seen the odds, and Alex Perez was a big underdog, a fair underdog. I'll say a fairly large underdog, unjustifiably so. So I threw some money on Alex Perez, and throughout the fight, I was like, phew, glad I threw some money on Alex Perez here. You know, this is Asu Almabayev's kind of choking here, and he was, in my opinion, Asu Almabayev lost round 1 and lost round 2 quite clearly, and then in the third round he just turned it up to him, jumped on him, snatched the guillotine up, and it was over. Alex Perez made one mistake that entire fight, and it cost him the fight. Until then, Alex Perez, what a performance, right? It was like, damn, Alex Perez has got Asu Almabayev's number. There's nothing Asu Almabayev can do that Alex Perez isn't ready for. And then 22 seconds into the third round, Asu Almabayev's the victor. Brilliant comeback victory, absolutely excellent comeback victory. I mean, I didn't see it coming. I thought Alex Perez was going to steam his way to a lovely unanimous decision victory, winning all 3 rounds. But nah, man, one mistake cost him that fight. Pretty tough pill to swallow. Must be for Alex Perez anyway. But yeah, thank goodness, because we did pick for the YouTube picks. We did pick Asu Almabayev. So we're still in this, and we're actually doing pretty good on picks now. We've kind of redeemed ourselves. And again, on to the next one. Nicholas Dalby versus Sagid Isagakmiev. Isagak. What did I say? What did I say about Nicholas Dalby, man? What did I say? Nicholas Dalby's a fucking weird dude. Nicholas Dalby can't win a fight unless he's like stopping hype. Unless he's stopping a hype train. And this wasn't even a hype train. This was potentially a hype train. It wasn't even a hype train yet. But yeah, Nicholas Dalby just all the way to a victory. Just labour breathing all the way to a victory. He's seen his missus giving birth, and he was like, you know what? That's a fucking great technique for managing your cardio. I'm gonna do that. Oh, crazy man, crazy. It must be crazy to fight him with that kind of, I don't even know what you would call it, cardio management style. It's hard. It must be impossible because you must think he's gassed already. Look how heavy he's breathing. He must be gassed. But fun fact about me is that I used to swim, and I know all about flooding your blood with oxygen continuously to be able to hold your breath and shit like that. So I knew exactly what we were going with there, and I was like, damn, this is good. And he was doing it perfectly as well. So he was flooding his bloodstream with, this is something I actually know about, which is fucking crazy. And normally I don't have like an inside scoop on some shit, but I actually know about the breathing exercises of Nicholas Dalby, which is fucking bizarre. But yeah, he's flooding he's purging his body of non-usable gases by exhaling so hard, and then by breathe those sharp inhales, he's then replacing all of that really quickly with good usable oxygen. And then when he wants to make an intensive movement, like trying to fucking get Sagid off him, right? When he has to do a big burst of energy and explosive movement, he can then hold his breath and put all of that oxygen into that, and then return to that deep air, that breathing exercise, that sharp breathing exercise. It works. I know for a fact it works, and we've just seen a demonstration of it working. Yeah, I'm so glad. Split decision. A lot of people are saying it's a robbery. I disagree. I don't think it was a robbery. In fact, I was watching the fight, and I think Dalby wins 2 and 3. Yeah, argument can be made. It was a close fight. It was close. Nicholas Dalby made it close. I don't know, man. Maybe I have to go and watch it back. Maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I was too riding the high of Nicholas Dalby's breathing and me being like, oh, I know what he's doing there. I don't know. Maybe I'm riding the high. Just to me, it seemed like Dalby was winning. He outlanded, and in my opinion, he outgrappled as well. Like, what did Sagid get done on the ground that Nicholas Dalby didn't do in the clinch on the fence? Like, Dalby was landing more in the clinches, in the grappling exchanges. I honestly, yeah, I don't even think it was supposed to be a split decision. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm fucking delusional here, guys. But I had all 3 rounds for Dalby. Just about all 3 rounds for Dalby. But I can see arguments 1 and 2 closer than 3. Dalby 100% won round 3. There's no argument there. So it comes down to 1 and 2, and there's good arguments for both rounds that Dalby won. So yeah, I was surprised it went to a split decision, but we were in Qatar, so we've got to save face a little bit. On to the next one. By the way, I picked Dalby, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, is what I meant to do. I don't know what the action, I did that. Anyway, Luke Riley versus Bogdangrad. You can tell I'm getting excited. Luke Riley versus Bogdangrad. When I did my predictions, I said I'm worried for Shem. That's a tough-ass matchup for him. That's a tough-ass matchup stylistically for him. And then when we got to Luke Riley, I said 100% confident in a finish. Probably late round 3, probably late round 2. Well, I was wrong about when, but I was right about the TKO. Straight away, start of round 2, after getting dominated in round 1, mind you. Like, Bogdangrad had the game plan, knew exactly what to do. Get on Luke Riley, hold him down, don't let him strike. Don't strike with Luke Riley. And Bogdangrad did it perfectly. Perfect game plan in round 1. Took him down, kept him down, held him down, kept clinching up, didn't let Riley get going on the feet. The round ends, Riley's like, damn, you could see, like, I've lost that fucking round. Brilliant corner work. Tell them exactly what to do. It's just, that's fine. It's just a round. You're down 1 round. That's fine. We're going to go knock him out anyway. He goes out there. He gets it done. Absolutely obliterates Bogdangrad. Just absolutely beautiful work. Knocks him down with a left hand. Follows him down to the ground. And then stacks up on there and just starts throwing right hands over and over again. Bogdangrad got knocked out like twice. Maybe 3 times. And then woken back up again by the other strikes. Bit of a slow stoppage, but that's just how it be. Emphatic victory from Luke Riley. We expect to see big things in the future. Next up we have Horiguchi versus Tagia Ulanbekov. Now I can't even remember, but I'm fairly sure I went with Ulanbekov, which I regret heavily now, because I remember there was a large debate. Did I talk myself into it? That's the question. I have to go back and look. Did I talk myself into picking Horiguchi? Because I remember saying, I always want to go with the Japanese fighter. I love the style. I love their stand-up. I love their submission game. I love their grappling game. It's a very cool style to watch. But a lot of the time it just doesn't work in MMA. And I was kind of talking myself out of going with Horiguchi. So I don't exactly remember, but I've got a feeling I went with Ulanbekov just because I don't have a good statistical track record with picking guys from Asia. But I say Asia as if like part of Russia is in Asia, but I don't know what part. Anyway, doesn't matter. What a fucking victory! What a win from Horiguchi. 2-3 years Japan and forget. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Right, we've got Nicholas Dalby beating Sagid Izagach. Right, out grapples him. Took him to Dalbistan. Okay, 2-3 years in Dalbistan and forget. And then Horiguchi comes in and out grapples Ulanbekov, Tagir Ulanbekov. 2-3 years Japan and forget. What is going on? What happened? Bad night for them, I think. Bad night for the grapplers, for the Russian grapplers. Anyway, what a fucking performance from Horiguchi. Absolutely dominant, 100% from start to finish. It was like a masterclass, man. Absolute masterclass. Won round 1, dominated round 2, was on his way to dominating round 3 before he got the finish. Absolutely incredible victory from Horiguchi. You can tell that he's fought Mighty Mouse. Anyway, absolutely spectacular win. Unfortunate for Tagir Ulanbekov. That is a shame. That is adding another loss to the record. We know how these Dagestanis don't like adding to that other side of the score. They don't like adding to the loss bracket at all. It rubs them the wrong way. But Horiguchi, man, damn, what a performance! What a performance! I think just too much of a gap in the experience. I think that's mostly what it came down to. Genuinely do. I think Horiguchi's been in so many bad positions that there are no longer any bad positions. This is a guy with a good amount of fights under his belt. And not to say that Ulanbekov hasn't, training since he was a child, I'm sure. But different levels, different levels to this stuff. Horiguchi's been fighting world-class fighters for a very long time. So it was a big challenge for Ulanbekov, to be fair to Ulanbekov, and he just couldn't rise to the occasion this time. But back on the horse. We'll see how it goes next time. Probably not too injured, only mild damage. But did get choked unconscious as well. They refused to tap as well, which is fair enough. Then again, maybe he didn't even get a chance to tap because he was out so quickly. Like it was like a 3-second, 4-second submission. Just that's flawless execution of a fucking rear naked choke. By the way, like actually a flawless rear naked choke. Technique was perfect. He didn't squeeze. He didn't squeeze with his arms. Yeah, like you see all these guys doing. He didn't squeeze it in, gable grip and squeeze it up. No, he locked it in, and then he inhaled. Closed the gap by breathing. Just perfectly done. Tagir Ulanbekov out cold. That's how you know it was a perfect choke. That's how you know he did the technique perfect. He wasn't squeezing with his arms. He inhaled with his breath. He choked him out with his own breath. He inhaled and increased the size of his diaphragm and closed the gap that Tagir's neck was in, and that put him out immediately. Not a big squeeze, didn't need to be done like that. So yeah, you can just see the skill difference between the two, and that's not a knock on Ulanbekov, just a guy who's younger in his career. But yeah, on to the next one. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, on 2 days' notice, flies to Qatar and slays King Shamil Gassiev. You couldn't write this. You could predict it though, because I did. But yeah, I mean, what can be said about it? Super quick fight again. Waldo Cortes-Acosta making a shitload of fans right now. Gets on the microphone, asks for another fight before the year's done. Crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. I don't even know how many cards we've got left until the year's done. I don't even know. But he wants to get on the next cards. He flew out 2 days' notice to fight Shamil Gassiev, who was training to fight fucking Who was he training to fight? He was in a full camp. Sergey Spivak. Full camp to fight Sergey Spivak. Full camp to fight Sergey Spivak. And gets chinned by Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Shamil Gassiev preparing for the biggest challenge of his life. Should have been in the best shape of his life. The king was slain by Waldo Cortes-Acosta, who has now amassed even more fans. Gets on the microphone, calls out Tom Aspinall again. Again. I say give him the fight. I want to see it. Fuck it. Fuck Cyril Gane. Fuck cheating Cyril Gane. Fuck John Jones, coward, retired. Fuck the both of them, okay? Let's get Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Tommy Aspinall. I'd love to see that. I think Waldo Cortes-Acosta can knock him out. No matter what happens, we're getting a knockout in like round 1. It's gonna happen. It's got to happen. Way more entertaining fight than fucking City, than Shitty Gane and John Jones. Fuck those two guys, man. Way more entertaining fight. Way more entertaining fight. On to the next one. Maitabek Orobai versus Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson versus Maitabek Orobai. Orobai won that fight. Absolutely chinned Jack Hermansson. I think Jack Hermansson's accumulated far too much damage. I had Orobai by submission. I'll be honest. We had Orobai. We picked him by submission. I didn't think that a glancing overhand would be enough to put Jack Hermansson away. But I think there's just too much damage accumulation in Jack Hermansson. His body's too used to getting hit and going down. And so yeah, I think he's probably done for his own safety. I do think it's time to hang up the gloves. No disrespect intended. Brilliant performance from Maitabek Orobai. Brilliant performance. Smaller guy, looked physically smaller, physically less imposing, but he stayed on Jack Hermansson. Just the fight was super short. It was only like 2.5 minutes. It was 2 minutes 46 seconds. So super short fight, but he took it to Jack Hermansson despite being smaller, physically shorter, physically smaller, and he took the fight to Jack Hermansson and he put it on him. He put it on him, and Jack didn't know what to do with it, and that's all she wrote. Brilliant performance from Maitabek Orobai. I honestly thought we were getting like a submission out of him, but that's fine. You know what? Jack Hermansson's a great grappler, so maybe it was the right decision to stand and bang. I mean, clearly it was. Clearly it was the right decision to stand and bang. He won, but yeah. Sad to see Jack Hermansson go out like that. I do think it's time to hang up the gloves. Decent career. No shame in it. Maybe it's time to hang it up now. Next up, Volkan Oezdemir versus Alonzo Menesfield. Again, another first round annihilation. Volkan Oezdemir took it to Alonzo Menesfield, hurt him badly, put him on the fence, hurt him again, and then just beat him. Beat him down. Alonzo Menesfield, what a tough customer though. Stayed on his feet, was out on his feet. He was stood upright, unconscious, mind you. Unconscious, but still stood upright, just taking more punishment. Ref could have stepped in a little bit sooner. I feel like Alonzo Menesfield was maybe not knocked out twice, but definitely rocked once and then knocked out after that. Yeah, he was rocked a couple of times in that. He was just doing this while getting hit. He was fucking out on his feet. It could have been stopped a slight bit sooner, in my opinion. And that's crazy to say for a fight that was 1 minute 27 seconds. Just don't like seeing a guy getting his face beaten in while his hands are by his waist and he's not really doing anything. Like, he was moving his head, but he was moving it into the shots, and it didn't look like his eyes were even open. So I don't know. Interesting one to see. Volkan Oezdemir finally puts one on him. Just a series of punches, knees, punches, fucking uppercuts, hooks, and he puts down Alonzo Menesfield in a gruesome fashion. Took his soul, sends him to the shadow realm. On to the next one. Ian Machado Gary versus Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, it was an alright fight. It was alright. Bilal Muhammad, again, I've said this before. Bilal Muhammad isn't that good of a grappler. Okay? He's just not. He's just not. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's been in a division where there's been a shocking lack of decent grapplers. And he came along as the only semi-decent grappler. And he won with it. Right? That's it. Like, he's come along as the only semi-decent, same as like Kamaru Usman, right? Came to a division that was very sparse in grappling, was good enough at the grappling to make something out of it. Same with Colby Covington. It's a division that's sparse in grappling. Colby Covington is a semi-decent grappler. He got pretty far in that division. It's time for the new breed to come in. These new guys that are coming up A lot of them can grapple as well. A lot of them have decent grappling as well. Belal Muhammad could not get Ian Garry to the ground. He looked like a baby compared to him. It looked like someone on the 100th lesson. This is what 1,000 lessons looks like versus 5 lessons. That's what it looked like. Belal just had nothing for Garry. Absolutely nothing for Garry. In the grappling. In the stand-up, it was kind of interesting because we all know Belal's got pillow hands. So, like, you know, everyone knows Belal's got pillow hands. He can't really hurt you. It looked like he was hurting Garry. Like, a couple of times he was throwing this overhand, this big loopy overhand, and it was catching Garry consistently. Catching him consistently, and it did look like it was leaving a mark. So maybe, you know, Belal Muhammad's got that one punch. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't enough to put Garry down. It wasn't enough to really change the tide of the fight. However, it did look like they were actually starting to get through towards the end of the fight, which was kind of interesting. I didn't think Belal would have anything in the stand-up. I thought he would have a couple of things in the grappling, but just not enough. But no, in the stand-up he was doing all right to keep Garry at bay with the overhand right, which is fair enough. It's that's what it's for. That's what the overhand right's for. It's like, oh, he's coming for me, quick, throw something big, throw a windmill. But yeah, so interesting to see. But yeah, utter domination. I've been saying this for a while now. Belal Muhammad is just same with like Leon Edwards though as well. Like it's just they've come up in between two eras, I think is what it is. They've come up between two eras and they were all right for this in between period, and now that the next generation's coming in, they're going to struggle a lot unless they change. But yeah, finally the main event time. Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. I said it, man. I said submission. I said round 2, I think, as well. I said round 2 or round 3 submission for Arman Tsarukyan. I like Dan Hooker. He had no chance. He had no chance in this fight. Arman is probably title contention now. I mean, let's be honest. He should have fought for a belt already if he wasn't weirdly not making weight and then pretending to have hurt his back. There was a rumour before this fight. Dan Hooker was spreading the rumour that the masseuse at the hotel had been leaking that Arman's back was still hurt. Didn't look hurt in that fight. It was a dominant victory for Arman Tsarukyan over Dan Hooker. I think Dan managed to get up from one takedown, and then after they got taken down again, and it was over. But yeah, just flawless victory from Arman Tsarukyan. Flawless victory over Dan Hooker though, and let's be honest, probably just a fight to keep his name relevant. Like, who hasn't beat Dan Hooker? No offense to Dan Hooker, but yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one to give him Dan Hooker, but I suppose he needed to fight somebody, and I suppose Dan could have got lucky. But yeah, dominant performance from Arman Tsarukyan. Absolutely flawless. Didn't put a foot wrong. Manages to get the arm triangle submission in the second round. Fairly dominant. I mean, give him a title shot then. Okay, let's give him another title shot. Hopefully he doesn't hurt his back again. Right? I don't know, he's such a weird dude. Headbutting Dan Hooker before the fight as well. Like, such a weird dude. I think maybe the nerves get to him. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the nerves get to him. And then he starts trying to self-sabotage. Even though he could do well. Like, I know people like that. I know people that could excel, but they self-sabotage. They think, but what if I don't make it and then I have to deal with the embarrassment of not making it? I'd rather just quit now, or I'd rather have it called off for another reason, Like, I know people like that who self-sabotage because they're afraid of succeeding as well. Like, if I go on to do well at this, then I'm going to have to keep doing this. And yeah, so, I know people that do that, and I think Arman's one of those people that looks for a way to self-sabotage. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Didn't happen this time. Dan Hooker remained in the fight, and Arman gets the win. But yeah, interesting behaviour out of out of Arman. Bilal's on the screen still. I should probably scroll up. But yeah, brilliant performance from Arman. Brilliant performance from Arman. Yeah, aside from weird stuff before the fight, like, he just behaved strangely. And maybe it's all the money and caviar. Maybe it just makes you weird. I don't know. I'm not rich. Anyway, that does conclude Best Bits. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving me a like, subscribe for more content. I do other funny stuff sometimes. Should be maybe on the screen for you. I don't know, like a tier list or something. I don't know what you're into. I know they're kind of like old now, but I don't know, still pretty funny. Until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around.